What's up, beautiful people from YouTube? Do you want to learn how to fade using detachable blades? In this video, I show you how to do a low skin fade on curly hair. Coming up. Felipe Cardozo here, bringing you the best tips and tools for growing your barbering, hairstyling, and grooming knowledge to a whole nother level. So, if you're new here, welcome my friend. Please subscribe and turn on the notification button so you don't miss a thing. Now, with this haircut, I am using a detachable blade system using my Oster Octanes. It is important to know that numbering system on these detachable blades is a little bit different than the plastic guards that you may use on a wall or Andis. If you're considering buying an Oster Octane or any other clipper that uses a detachable blade, do not get discouraged. There is a learning period that you're gonna have to learn the system, the clipper, and adjust to that specific clipper. Oster Octane is a great clipper. I am going to be doing a clipper review on that with all the detachable blades that comes with that clipper. Also, because the detachable blade does not have a lever to adjust the blade, sometimes you're not able to get that super crisp fade just using that clipper. Speaking for myself, do the fade and then jump back to my fading clippers using my Wall Sterling 4 clipper in order to really fine tune that fade. With that said, let's jump right into the haircut. All right guys, so here, as you can see, the client has super curly hair. So we're gonna be doing a low skin fade on the sides, keeping it nice and tight, and keeping the length on the top. So to start off here, I take my 1.5 detachable blade using those Oster Octane bad boys. What I'm doing here is setting a top guideline for my fade. In other words, I'm setting a foundation really. This is building the structure of the haircut. But I like to also describe this as setting my top guideline because we're setting a 1.5 and we're gonna have to blend from 0 to a 1.5. So top guideline 1.5, going straight up in the air. I'm not following the head shape whatsoever. I'm actually kind of flaking out towards the top of the curvature of the head. So now setting the bottom guideline. I didn't have the 5.0 detachable blades in the making of this video, so I just used my Slimline Pros. They are zero gapped, and so they cut pretty close to a 5.0 here. Using the ear as a reference, dipping it down towards the back of the head. So now that we have a top guideline with the 1.5 and a bottom guideline with a 0 or 0.00, whatever you want to call it, we're gonna have to break those two lines in the middle. And what we would do on a wall, which is open a blade up, which is equivalent to a half, we're gonna take a number 1 detachable blade, which is almost the same length. And I am going to set another guideline right in between the top and the bottom with a 1 detachable blade. Start removing that bottom guideline. I'm gonna take my 0.8 detachable blade, start working on that bottom line. A 0.8 technically is not going to remove the bottom line completely because we set it with the triple, with the 5.0s or with the Slimline Pros, right? I know that if for some reason that bottom line does not go away, I just throw on my 0.00s. My 0.00s will definitely get rid of that line. And if for some reason it doesn't, I'll just throw on my Slimline Pros again and flick out the line. So now working on that middle, working on that half line or the 1 detachable blade line that we set, I'm gonna take my 1A and start working on that line. Now I also know that the 1A is not going to completely remove that line. Unfortunately, I wish I can just do the whole fade with the detachables, but in order to really get a super crisp fade, I have to use my walls. So I jump onto my walls right here, take my half guard and I open it halfway and I just start working on that line just to smooth everything out and completely erase the line. So we have a completely beautiful blend from 0 up to a 1.5. Fade is over, working on the midsection. That's our second part of the haircut. Here I'm gonna wet the hair just slightly, just enough so that I can calm down and the hair stays. I'm gonna take a clipper of a comb and just start working on that midsection. We do have a 1.5 as a top guideline, remember? So that is our guide. And I'm setting the comb at about a 90-degree angle, maybe just slightly angling towards me. Take a 000 with the Oster Octanes and just cut that midsection off. The midsection is almost done. I removed the hair clips and I'm gonna start incorporating the top of the hair. This is pretty much just blending the midsection to the top of the hair. The curly hair is very difficult to cut using a shear over finger technique. From this point on, I am just completely freehanding the whole haircut on my scissor over comb. First, I'm gonna start with the sides and start blending the top to the midsection. Just really fine tuning everything. The clipper of a comb does a lot of the blending. Clipper of a comb actually blends the midsection to the fade, and the scissor of a comb is actually blending the midsection to the top of the hair. So it's very interesting here. You can also use a clipper of a comb to cut the top of the hair, but a scissor of a comb for me is more of a detailed technique. I'm going to cut the back of the hair a lot shorter than the front. We're almost doing kind of like a quiff. It seemed like the hair was too full on the back, rounding out the head shape a little too much. So using my Hanzo 7.5-inch shear, freehanding everything here, just going from short to long, from back to front. Now it's important to remember not to use a texturizing shear in order to preserve the curls. And now to just finish everything off, I'll take my foil shaver, clean out the bottom of the neck and the sideburns. To finish it off with a little bit of product, I'm applying the Fat Boy Sea Salt Pomade. I wet his hair a little bit and apply some. It works wonders with curly hair. That's the haircut, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from this video. But I do wonder, do you use detachables? If you do, which clipper do you use and how do you like using those detachable blades? I'm curious to know. Let's start this conversation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, turn on the notification button, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.